Hey everyone, so I cannot begin to tell you how many times I've been asked what are my favorite hair companies, which hair company do I recommend, what are my top favorite hair companies. So I finally am going to do a video on my top hair companies so far out of all the ones that I've reviewed. There are a few things that I want you to keep in mind during this video. Every person's experience is not the same, so what might have been a great experience for me might not have been a great experience for somebody else. And then you also have to keep in mind that different hair companies sell different kinds of hair, meaning Malaysian, Brazilian, Cambodian, whatever the case may be, and depending on the texture, the wave of the hair, what type of hair, can account for different experiences with different hair companies as well, okay? Because of course every texture, every wave is not going to give the same experience to somebody as it gave to somebody else. So that's something to keep in mind. I'll mention all the particular textures that I had in this video for my top companies. And another thing is I'm not going to go into great detail about each company because I did do initial reviews, updates, and final reviews on all of these companies. So if you're interested in the company after I mention it, I would just suggest that you go and you check out those reviews that I did so you can see if that hair is for you, and they can give you a closer look at the hair. Just because I know that everybody doesn't watch every single review, so I'll point it out to you that these reviews that I'm going to mention for these companies are something I think is worth your time if you're interested. So let's get started. My top favorite company out of all the companies is Fab Hair, and that was just because with her I had an all-around great experience, and that means great customer service, and I had amazing quality hair. I was sent that hair to review, and after I wore it for a long time, my best friend was hooked on it, and she has literally not bought another hair company since she has bought from Fab Hair. And I also have a silk based closure from Fab Hair right now, and I just love it. I had the Brazilian Wavy, and it was some amazing hair, that's for sure. My next company is Genessis Virgin Hair. Now that was the first company that I ever reviewed on my channel, I believe, and I did not get sent that hair to review. I paid money for that hair, and it was still very, very amazing. People always say that, oh, you just get the best hair because you got sent it for free. Well, I didn't get sent Genessis hair for free, and it was still very amazing. But I will say that her customer service was crap. It took me a very, very, very long time to get my hair. But that was also when she was first starting her business, and she was doing it by herself. So it was a lot, and her hair company was popping. But I have heard that since then, she's been giving out more bad bundles than great. So you also have to keep that in mind. But I had an amazing experience with the hair itself, not the customer service, but with the hair itself was amazing. That was hands down some of the best hair I've ever had. Neck and neck with Fab Hair for sure. But because of the customer service, I had to knock her down some. So the next hair, and from that company I had Brazilian Wavy from Genessis Virgin Hair. My next favorite company is Mercy's Hair Extensions, and I love, love, love Mercy's hair extensions. That hair, I had the Cambodian Straight hair, and it was some of the thickest, most luscious, volumizing hair that I've ever had. It had so much body and sheen, and it curled well, it held styles well. It was just beautiful. I loved it. The only thing that I wish that it would have been a little bit longer, but I absolutely loved the Cambodian Straight hair that I got from Mercy's Extensions. It was absolutely gorgeous, and of course she was a sweetheart as well. She had really good customer service. I appreciated that. And so my last two companies are kind of in separate categories because they're curly hair, like curly hair, and the other three companies were kind of, straight hair, generally straight hair. So many of you loved my hair that I got from Natural Beauty Boutique, and I just want to let you know that I loved it too. That hair was amazing quality. I only had a tiny issue with that hair, and that was just, it shed quite a bit, but the hair itself was absolutely amazing, and it still wasn't shedding to the point where I was just like, oh my god, I gotta get this crap out of my head, because I've had that experience before. But this hair was hands down the best curly hair that I've ever had in my life, like ever had in my life. And many of you have commented on my videos, on my pictures on Instagram, like, oh my gosh, girl, what hair is that from like weeks ago? Well, it was that Natural Beauty Boutique. If you see me with any faux curly hair on Instagram, like from a while ago, that was the hair, I guarantee you. Okay? And so, I believe that hair, excuse me, was the Natural Brazilian Wavy. And it was so, so pretty. I loved that hair, and it did say wavy, but it does seem more curly to me. Okay, so you should definitely check out that review if you're interested. And then last but not least, Magic Hair Company. Okay, I received a curly full lace U-part from Magic Hair Company that I dyed, and it was the absolute bomb. Okay, the only issue that I have with that hair is that it didn't straighten very well. But it did straighten. It just didn't get like bone straight. Like I would like it like sleek straight. Which, granted, I probably could have got it sleek straight with just a little bit more manipulation. But when it was curly, oh my gosh, it was popping. Like, it was just fire. I loved that hair. I still have that unit. I'm going to pull it out of the Woolsworth one of these days and like rock it again. It was the absolute bomb. And it was very, very thick. There was a lot of hair on that lace unit. I just loved it. Okay. So, if there are any more questions about these companies that I mentioned, please feel free to, you know, leave them below. But those are my top companies so far. Okay. My top textures with those companies. Granted, you know, like I said, textures give different experiences, and so those textures with those companies have provided me with an amazing experience. So, if there's anything that I left out or forgot to mention, please feel free to leave your questions and comments below. And thanks so much for watching. Until next time.